I'm Carrie with the Hair Nerds. I'm here with Stephen Moody. How are you doing today?
Carrie, I'm doing great.
Awesome.
I'm thrilled to be standing here with you and doing this interview for Hair Nerds.
Well, I'm super geeked out right now, so I'm a little nervous and a little excited at the same time. So thank you so much for talking with us. So we want to talk to you about your career. You have had an amazing career, and you've inspired so many of us. How do you feel about the fact that you inspire so many to this extreme level to where people look to you for guidance and just think that you're so amazing?
I'm only amazed in my own shower. The rest of the time it's questionable. No, I'm just really blessed to have run into some amazing people who've mentored me, who've affected my life, my career, my path in a positive way. And I'm a great believer in that phrase of paying it forward. And as a career-wise, I sort of kind of mapped out very early on in my life that a man called Vidal Sassoon had affected my family's life in a very positive way in the early 60s. And I thought, wow, how amazing is that? And I was just so excited that you know, the craft that my parents were in, hairdressing, had gone in a fantastic direction. And I thought, wow, if I can be part of helping other people with that, you know, with their craft and what they do and inspiring them and exciting them, I thought that would be a fantastic career to be in. It's kind of a given that it would be hair. I mean, that was never a second thought. But I always wanted to be around hairdressers. I really like hairdressers. I think they're a fantastic group of people. And I really like being part of helping people move forward with their creativity, with their inspiration, with their techniques, with their lives. So yeah, it's been a great journey, and I'm loving it. Loving it.
So what about, you've educated all over the world. What has it done for you, both with your craft, of course, but just inside? How has that made you, benefited you?
Well, it's benefited me because I think, you know, there's lots of people that are watching that are probably part of education and are educators. The funny thing is when you teach and when you share something with someone, you know, obviously, God willing, they learn, but they only learn half as much as what you learn. So when you're teaching or when you're sharing things with people, there's that funny sensation of like, oh wow, and you catch things and learn things and grow yourself. So to answer your question, yeah, it's kind of affected me in a very positive way because it's made me a better person with my craft. But probably most importantly of all, it's made me a better person as an individual.
So tell us a little bit about more about being an ambassador for Hairdressers at Heart.
Well, I joined the Weller organization on July 2nd, and I was so thrilled to be asked to be part of a fantastic project that was probably 2 years in the making already. It's called Hairdressers at Heart, and the portion that they asked me to be part of was the student pillar. And to me, I was like, oh wow, that's such a great fit for me, and it really speaks to everything that I've been doing over the last 32 years at Sassoon Academy. So the portion that I'm involved with is the Vidal Sassoon Professional Beauty Scholarship Fund, which is Procter & Gamble have really stepped forward and put together a $1.5 million scholarship. Oh, wow. Which is basically going to two areas, really. It's going towards young people who perhaps couldn't ordinarily afford to go to beauty school. So it's reaching out to kids who would like to be part of our wonderful craft, but for one reason or another, maybe they can't stretch that far. So it's helping them go to beauty school in any beauty school in North America that is an ACS member. American Association of Cosmetology Schools. So that's the criteria, and they have to, we're asking people to put together why they think they should be considered for this scholarship in writing or video. Great medium. And then obviously there'll be funding then to help them achieve that goal of to come into the craft. A second and quite different part of that is a scholarship for people who are already hairdressers. So, you know, you guys working in salons, you know, you're working on clients, you're busy, and all of us in the craft, all of us need to have our batteries recharged. We all need a little bit of creativity, inspiration, technique to take us to the next level and to keep us successful with our clients. And that's what this second part is. It's scholarships towards taking courses at the Sassoon Academy in either Santa Monica or Chicago, Miami, San Francisco, Toronto, on any one of their courses. Cutting or color or combinations of those courses. But the idea with that is to have them attend courses at Sassoon Academy so that, hey, they can recharge the batteries, they can go back to the clients and be more technically inspired, be more creatively inspired, and most importantly of all, be financially more successful.
That's awesome. So tell me, you've been on stage many, many times doing hair. What was your biggest mess up? Or something that stands out the most to you?
Have I got all night?
Your favorite one?
Because I tend to mess up more than not. I think the first one, actually, the one that registers first of all was I was in Italy with a fantastic haircutter by the name of Tim Hartley.
Okay.
And at the time, Tim was the international creative director at Sassoon. And he was pretty early on in his career. He'd probably done, I don't know, a dozen shows or something. And yours truly had never done one before. And I sat on stage, and my model sat on stage, and I cut this beautiful girl's hair and finished it. And I can't remember exactly what it was. It was some variation of a bob, and it was supposed to be symmetric. And partway through my haircut, I kept looking up and looking to see a mirror. And obviously there wasn't one. There was just a sea of Italian hairdressers. And I cut this girl's hair and finished it and took a gown off and stood her up, only to realize that one side was not even vaguely like the other side. And I think nowadays what I would do is basically call it an asymmetric haircut, but I didn't have the sense to do that at the time. So I apologized to the audience and said, I've messed up here and I need to sit her back down and work on the other side a little bit more to make it the same. And being Italians, they all stood up and cheered.
Yeah.
And I think they really appreciated my honesty.
Yeah.
So the moral of that story is when you do have a mirror and you're working on a client and there's a mirror in front of you, use it, because it's your best friend.
So do you have any more?
Yes, actually I'm going to go to Holland.
Okay.
This is another really embarrassing one in Holland. And this is a really good example of what not to do and how important a consultation is and how important it is to speak to somebody before you do the hair and really get clear. So I'm in Holland and we're doing this big show for 1,500 hairdressers or whatever. And on the stage there's these huge, massive, great big screens that magnify people's heads. So people's eyes and heads and everything are huge on this screen. So I'm doing this haircut on stage and I'm cutting this girl's hair, and for one reason or another I had no time to do a consultation with this girl. So right before I went on stage I grabbed the translator and said to the translator, does she have anything in mind? Is she okay if I cut her hair? And basically the translator, in Dutch, back. And she said, she doesn't mind. She'll have whatever you want to do. Just give her something, that's different and suits her. So I thought, great. So I'm cutting this girl's hair on stage and my colleagues are colouring and cutting hair on stage, and then they get done and it's just me left on stage with the cameraman, and the cameraman's kind of zooming in real tight into what I'm doing, and all my fingers are huge on this thing. And I look down and this girl sat there and she's choking back tears. And I can't speak to her because I don't speak Dutch. And she's blinking back these tears, and her eyeball was the size of Jupiter on the stage and all bloodshot. So of course I'm trying to get in the way of the camera so they can't see this girl crying. And finally I managed to finish my haircut and I take her off stage and we go backstage, and this girl throws her arms around me and gives me this huge kiss and says, Stephen, thank you, I love my hair. And I was like, number one, yay, she loves it. Number two, she speaks English. I said, great, thank you, I'm glad that you like your hair, but why are you crying? She said, I'm not crying. She said, I have a hair stuck at the back of my contact lens.
No. That's an awesome story. That's a good one.
I've got lots more where they came from.
All right.
So the moral of that story is make sure you're clear with your communication.
Yeah.
And I wasn't.
Have a consultation.
Yeah, big one.
All right. So one of our questions we ask everybody.
Yeah.
I knew I was a hair nerd when.
I was a hair nerd when I was born. Yeah. Mum pushed me out in a bedroom, literally there, above the hair salon. And she couldn't afford babysitters or whatever, so I just went from client's lap to client's lap to client's lap. So yeah, I was a hair nerd from the beginning.
Yeah,
I think.
you were like the original salon hair baby. You were a hair baby. That's what you were.
No regrets at all.
That's awesome. So if anyone wanted to stalk you, where would they find you?
On a fast motorcycle.
Good to know. Write that down. But what about online? Your Twitter feeds, your Facebook?
Oh, I'm a Facebooker. Yeah, for some reason I've never Twittered, and I don't know why.
It's
but,
fun.
Yeah, I like to Facebook, and that's cool, and it's a great medium. Yeah, I like Facebook. Stephen Moody.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming and talking with us. We really appreciate it. And you can find more about the Hair Nerds at thehairnerds.com. Thank you.
Thank you.